dirty, 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 dirty.
Tell the people more about the advantages of our product.
They never lose their cool.
Expand your mind. But I've got a better source of information.
Dirty.
Boom.
That's right, y'all. Back at y'all again. My man E-Verify, Beat Down Brown, Dirty 30 for y'all.
Indeed,
Why you do this to him, man? Why you do this to him? You know,
talk to him, man.
I don't
Go
talk
ahead,
about
man.
this often, man. This upcoming year, I'm supposed to, launch off, do another show.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's going to be a solo piece. I'm supposed to, go like my brothers from, deep dives. I'm supposed to dive a little bit deeper into, topics like that. And a couple of names keep coming up, future sponsor of the show, Kanye. Holla at us. That check ain't come through. I saw the intro letter. I saw the open package, but you ain't put a check in there, man. Ain't no commas in that. Go ahead there, Mr. Kanye, to the we go ahead and rebrand. But name that keeps coming up is Drake. You talking about Drake? This fool. Mos Def in an interview. Why y'all do this to our legends, man? They try to leave stuff alone, man.
Try to. Yeah.
They try to leave stuff alone, man. And before anybody hop up there, and you know how fan bases go, Cardi got her people,
right?
Nicki got the Barbs, Beyonce got the Beehive, like that. These stands they be rough, man.
Yeah.
And they asked the mighty Mos Def.
You should have played the damn video, man. Go ahead, man. Go
Man,
ahead.
Fuck it, I do it, man.
So
it get weird when you start playing stuff. It start getting choppy, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it, man.
Try to pull that up, because nobody can deliver his words like he did, because it wasn't just it was everything. It was everything, and only he could, articulate that the way that he did the best without full blown diss.
Yeah, I'm bringing it up right now.
Gotcha.
I believe it. I believe it's sitting there. We got it. Yeah, we got it. I'm go ahead and hit play on this because my man is good. This is fair use, y'all. We just gonna throw this up real quick. Come on now.
Like, is Drake hip hop?
The pause.
Pop to me, in the sense like if I was in Target in Houston and I heard a Drake song, it feels like a lot of his music is compatible with shopping.
She had nothing.
Commercial music.
Or it's
Commercial music,
shopping with an edge.
Shopping with an edge.
I like Drake's music, but I understand exactly what you're saying.
Of course, I mean,
it's
get
commercial, entertaining, fun, good,
it's
formulaic music.
It's likable.
Likable music, yeah.
It's likable.
Is it? I'm gonna give you mine. We're gonna move. So many SKUs.
So many SKUs. Look at all these SKUs. Oh, so many products.
So much merchandising. So many barcodes.
I love this mall. Look at this place. I mean, look at this place. They have everything. Everything here.
Including Drake records.
Great. It's a new Drake. You hear it? It's great. Okay. What happens when this thing collapses? What happens when the columns start buckling? Are we not in some early stage of that at this present hour? Are we seeing like the collapse of the empire? Buying and selling. Where's the message that I can use?
Uh-huh.
Right.
What's in it for your audience apart from like banging the pom poms?
He started
hit
with
it.
humor. He started with humor, but ended with a little message. And I
Mhm.
hope it didn't go over everybody's head like he was just that old head dissing. He just broke it down, and it's just again his perspective. But a lot of us can relate to that comment from
But
beginning to end.
here goes the crazy part about it. It was hilarious.
That
And yeah,
part.
only he could say it because it is that. I do remember, I don't know if you remember when Killer Mike, Black Thought, Pusha T and all them did that good morning.
Yeah.
All right, I don't know if you listen, and at the end, Black Thought had that little line. He's up there, it's like, I'm listening to your joint, and it's just crib cleaning music.
Hey, that's what it
and
is.
and it's like, dog, it's cool, but it's just like you said, this is, I can hear Hot Light Bling when I'm up there, you know what I'm saying, about to buy a new shirt for the club. It's not even buying a new gear for the wedding. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a new shirt for the club. If
Like
you go
he's in
back
the
to the
era.
day,
Drake is in a unique spot because he could do the pop stuff and he can also kill it like Drake, not Drake, but J. Cole. I'm sorry,
yeah,
if you wanted to, but he's leaning towards that commercial poppy, just doing stuff for the hell of it. He's in the era with one end of the spectrum is J. Cole, JID, and Jid, and Lil Nas X, and you know what I'm saying? He could swing the pendulum either
here,
way as far as
here goes the crazy part. Okay, so one, to give Mos Def his stripes in the fact of, and we're going to go into what Drake had to say back in this
okay.
scenario, okay?
Yeah.
But going into the whole thing about, let's look at Mos Def. Mos Def does fuck with the new generation. If you listen to the Midnight Miracle with Talib, and Chappelle, he's up there not just knows who Sada Baby is. He's quoting Sada Baby lyrics, talking with Sada Baby on there. So he messes with the new generation and stuff. He's on that DiCaprio 2 with Jid. He's got a solo piece where he's spitting on that joint, and then of course, as you know from that surround sound, that's using the same flip as Miss Fat Booty of that Aretha sample. Of course, he gave his blessing for, yo man, take that surround sound, because I know what happened. Jid went and flipped that surround sound, and then he's up there like, somebody got Most text message, man. I
Right.
gotta text Most. Hey man,
Yep.
how you like this, man? That's crazy. You want a verse on it? He's like, nah, I want a verse on that. You keep
You
that.
kill it. Yeah,
He's
you kill
like,
it.
you killed it. You take that. He's like, but I want you on the album. He's like, all right. And Jid tells the story. He's like, yeah, Most came and blessed me with something. He's like, and I didn't even want to get on it. How you give a man his own? He's up there
That's
like, how you give a man his own joint on your
on
album?
your album. That's respect. That's
So
respect.
on the flip flops of respect, one of my biggest singles, yes, flip that and you do you, and I
Right.
don't want to be on it because you
Right.
killed it that good. But on the flip side, hey man, you came and guest appeared on my album and you killed it so good, I don't want to be on it. It's just you. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
And I think
That's
he's saying
crazy.
that not dissing Drake, but he wants what he wants from Drake. He knows what Drake is capable of, and it's kind of like he's pushing him to like, hey man, this, what I like, my lane. I need you. I prefer that part of you, like when he was with doing shit with featuring Fonte and them with Lil Brother jumping on Nate tracks or whatever. When he came out, he was killing.
Let's not talk about Drake and Lil Brother, because you saw in the forums when I hit you with that, like,
Yeah.
I can't believe. I'm gonna go in on Drake for a hot second, and I'm gonna step back out of it. You were Ursula from the fucking Little Mermaid, because it's like you admitted that you took Fonte's flow without his bars, but you took Fonte's flow. But when I listen back to like them first 3 Little Brother you ain't have to fucking steal that man's voice. You ain't have.
That's what
voice,
he
dog.
does. He did that with Fonte and them, and with Lil Wayne. That's what he does.
Dog,
So,
you stole that man's voice. That man outweighs you by a good 100 pounds, possibly got a pinch of sleep apnea and everything else. That's all struggles you don't have. You don't sound like that, dog. We've heard you in interviews. You don't sound like you stole that man's voice, man.
Your voice is light. Your voice is light. But this comment or whatever was funny and entertaining and also educational at the end of it. So yeah, man.
What's funny about it is Drake could have left it. And
he should have.
He could have left it. And what's the craziest part about it is, so you come back at him with, what did Umi say? Let me shine, dog. And it's like he
ain't blocking your blessings.
He ain't
blocking you by no means. He was not dissing. He wasn't blocking. He was just saying the lady asked his opinion. What do you think of Drake? It's likable.
And then the biggest point of it was he goes and tries to respond with a meth quote. And I think what he missed, we didn't miss it, but what he missed was in that meth quote. Meth is like, okay, well, what's hip hop? Hip hop is a culture. It's the b-boying, it's the graffiti, it's the breakdancing, it's the MCing. It's a whole culture. So with saying that, that's what hip hop is. And he tried to use that as a little throwback. It's like, dog, so you made his point for him because you are not that.
It wasn't none of what you're doing now is the essence.
Yeah, you literally said, and I do understand when Chris was talking about, when Blastmaster KRS was talking about the fact of the feel-good nature, the party nature of hip-hop, and the fact that is a part of it. It was born from the parties. It was born from the feeling good and doing your thing and rocking the crowd and like that. From that end of the nature, yes, you are that, but you're still just a rapper, dog. The culture aspect, which is the biggest part of it. Hip hop comes from struggle. It comes from culture. It comes from elevating the culture. And you are doing none of that with your little tales of woe dissing would-be baby mamas and ex-girlfriends and stuff like that, dog. And all your sing-songy stuff. And once again, most sings, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Going back to the Umi Says, one of my favorite joints from him is on the album You Can't Get on Regular Streaming. He and Georgia Ann Muldrow, Roses. That joint is fucking fire. It is what it is. Most is not clowning you for that. But what this comes up to is, and where Drake is heavily butthurt and all of this, it keeps coming up that all of your heroes don't view you as a peer. And that's that
got a sting. He going off of numbers, record sales,
I'm selling,
and money, but that's cool, but nobody's asking, I can't say nobody's asking you for a feature or whatever, but again, the guys you looked up to when you stepped into the game, they're not really checking for you like that.
Yeah,
because you're doing your thing with the new and up and comers, but all the the dudes that are established. And again, man, if most can't have a comment on it, then who can?
But this is always the case with him. You were a Joe fan and you were mad because Joe said what he said about you. And respectfully, Joe went back around and said, hey, if we go and look at what did Drake give us, Drake gave us enough so he can pretty much do whatever he wants now. I'm just saying, if you're going to keep doing it, then do it this way. You're an older statesman. Do this.
Yeah.
We'll go back to his boy Cole that he's going on the Chitlin Circuit tour with.
Yep.
And I mean that with all disrespect, with the fact that Drake is an arena rocker in major cities, and I looked at them tour dates. It's like whining in the major spots with you. That's
I think they just postponed some of that too. I think they redoing the dates or something like that. If I'm not mistaken, I
don't doubt it with this weather, man. This weather is crazy. This weather's knocking off NFL games. If this weather is knocking off NFL games,
you got a problem.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got
these cats is used to being in the cold. These fans is used to being in cold. I do recall watching Patriots games with cats was throwing snowballs.
So let's not even talk about the Green Bay games, and Buffalo.
Yeah, exactly.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, with that being the case, they got fans up there cleaning the stands out to play in Buffalo.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So
for
yeah,
tickets.
your little tour ain't going to go over well if you go into some of these snow belts.
Right.
So I do understand why stuff got bumped off, but Cole has matured as a lyricist.
Mm-hmm.
He still always had the flow. He
Mm-hmm.
still was always spitting, you know, the beats were what the beats were and everything else. You know what I'm saying? He's matured as what his content is going to be coming out. And it seems Drake is going backwards. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, we understand you got paper, dog. We understand you get to go places you ain't never been before.
Right.
Whole lot of cats this in this rap game are getting to do and go places they've never been before and getting to see things they've never seen before.
Right.
What else?
Yeah, he's going back to what's current on you know what's popping right now. It's like, dude, do something original. We know it's in you.
And
Just do something original. You following the trend. You was a trendsetter. Now you following the trends.
And that's where it really becomes a problem with him. We're not even gonna say with cats like him, with him.
Right.
It's like, dog, you don't need to chase down a feature from Sexy Red. You don't need to you don't need to have city girls on your joints
At all.
and it's
Ever.
like okay, so, and once again, like I always make jokes about certain MCs run from other certain MCs because they scared that they're gonna get shined
Body.
on or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, so you must be scared of Lotto then, because you grabbing all these new folks.
Mm-hmm.
You grabbing all these new folks. You scared of Lotto, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
He's just, like I said, he's following what's popping right now, and what's popping right now ain't it.
Yeah,
it ain't it, bro. You know, come on, man. Just go ahead.
This is the funny part. Looking at as petty as the beef with he and Kendrick that goes back and forth, and I loved it. I love the pettiness for Kendrick in this, because that Hillbillies, what he and Baby Keem did, going and taking him and his boy stuff and flipping the exact same flow and style and actually stunting on him with that action, that
Killed
was
it.
epic. Like, oh yeah, I could do your flow, but I can come back and do Mr. Morale. And that's the whole point, dog. You could do something wholly deeper. Yeah,
that's
I
all.
could go and do it.
You got a fan base for people who want you to, you know, take it there. You know, like you said, man, you cherry picking. You know, we don't need you to cherry pick, man. Just do a little, just go a little deeper, man. Just a little bit. You got to do both if you can, you know, please.
Yeah. You have the ability. You have the gravitas. That's the thing. You have the gravitas to do whatever you want. The fact of the matter, on the last show, when we could talk about, we was expecting Jay-Z to bar up like he did on God Did. And then he decided, I'm gonna spoken word it up. And we still had to go back and look at it and be like, you know what though? That wasn't too bad. It was still fire. Okay.
Yeah.
The fact that when he did, let's go back to God Did for a second. Jay-Z could sit up there and talk about building black excellence on a joint where everybody else was kind of stunting and styling.
Yeah.
He's up there like, nah, man, I'm building a legacy. I'm building an empire.
Right.
You have that ability now. But also this speaks to the fact of he's an oddball. And what I mean by he's an oddball, I listen to everything. I listen to a lot of drill. So Stormzy and all them cats coming out of the UK, those is ghetto individuals that built up out of that. Okay, so they have a struggle. They built out of Lady LaShore and all the rest of them, Lady Leisha and all like that. They built up out of a struggle. They built up something. They come from that. All the American-born folks, they're building up out of struggle. They came out of that. 21 Savage, all like that. This cat coming from the Nubian Nation and being in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying, going through all the fucked up shit he's going through. You have that deep into things. This cat didn't come from that, man. Right. You're in Canada. The healthcare is good. You were a child actor. Everything is all gravy for you. You don't have these things to pull on, so you have nothing to talk about in that manner.
Right.
Well,
So
what you could do with this roster of friends that you have around you, since you like to steal so much and hop on the new wave, you've been UK drill and ain't, you know what I'm saying, they ain't from the UK like that. You've been Afro beats and you ain't been over to Nigeria or South Africa or Ghana like that. Then why don't you go and pull a little bit of struggle, pull a little bit of you spitting prosperity, but you're not spitting prosperity with hope. You spitting prosperity. You just stunting, man. You like,
that's it. But
you slide though, cats.
pull
I
a
don't.
little bit from what was that? Lil Yachty.
Mhm.
Was that feature? Was that with J. Cole? That feature he had, and he barred up on there. I forget that one of his features, whatever. And it was like, oh shit, that's the Yachty I like right there. You know what I'm saying? That's the
Yeah.
one I like. You know, he could bar up if he want to. You know, but
here
again,
goes. But here goes the
he's a
whole
weirdo
problem
too. So
Yeah, but here goes the whole problem. It's never been a case of can Drake rap.
right.
Drake can rap, but what are you talking about when you do it?
That
And
part. That's all Mos was saying. That's the whole emphasis. That's what we talk about. The shit. The pillars are starting to buckle. You know, because there's no support there. You're not messing with the foundation. You know, he's chipping away at it by doing this watered down shit. You know,
and
so
one quick note before we jump out of this, on some Mos Def, on some governmental Cat Williams shit, some culture and socioeconomic Cat Williams shit. Watch the rest of that interview. That interview was powerful.
Okay.
What that man talked on and what he served on. Check that and check what TYT Sports said about Mos Def, so y'all understand who this man is.
Yeah.
Before you understand what he's talking about as far as his political and socioeconomical views. That whole interview was powerful, and we're concentrating on one section because it's hip hop and it's what we're talking about.
Right.
But go check that whole joint, man. It's deep.
Okay.
But we gonna get off Drake for this time. We gonna let him rest for a second.
Let him breathe. Let him breathe.
Go
man.
go buy another watch. Go holler at another model, man. Go do your thing, bro.
Do your thing, man.
But good news on this one. Good news on this one. Man, craziness during that Houston game. Paul Wall popped up during that Houston game on the Videotron and, was giving a shout out to the team and like that. And then threw a little pan the camera a little bit, and a couple of the usual suspects was chilling with him, giving a shout out to their hometown. Mike Jones, Slim Thug, and Paul Wall announced the Still Tippin Tour.
Man. Oh, man. Yeah.
Yo,
yeah.
Yeah. I will admit, it's funny. I love my Texas and my New Orleans boys because I put Master P in this. I put all of the Cash Money Cats in this, and I definitely put my Swisher House Cats in this and like that, and then this crew right here. I won't say I was late to the party. I tried to clown it because I have an East Coast aesthetic. I'm, like I said, Mos, Talib, The Roots. You know what I'm saying? I was Jay. All these cats was what I was on. But man, when you talk about when these cats run their wave and what they're doing, it's not funny enough as compared to Cash Money and No Limit. I didn't need to see it in the clubs first. Right. These cats was definitely between Mike Jones with Who Is Mike Jones and all that other movement. Stuff. I had to see it for the block.
Yeah.
Because it was crazy in the clubs. But to see it on the block, to hear every car was
slapping
just
it.
The bass lines, you know what I'm saying? You changed the way the cats in Ohio customized their rides. Man. I saw cats with slabs. I saw cats with elbows on Vogues. And in Ohio, highly illegal to have rims that far out from your ride, man. And Cass was on it because of y'all. Cass wanted to be Houston so bad for a minute and was rocking it. You know what I'm saying? You
and only can ride that candy paint for what, about 3 months out the year?
Exactly. That's the
tuck it
thing. Yes, exactly that. You got about 3 months to ride that candy paint,
if
man.
you're lucky. If you're
And
lucky.
you got Vogues and elbows with the biggest potholes in the world.
Yeah, you're gonna need some snow tires, fam. You're gonna take them off and put some snow tires on that lack. But
Yeah.
yeah, only person that was missing, man, was Chamillionaire. But he
Well,
off. I know where he at.
dog. He's like I'm quiet. He's like I'm quietly the next Elon, man.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, he's like I'm cool, but I'm just saying as far as the
No, I
collective,
got you wholeheartedly, man.
But those cats, that's enough. Those three, that's more than enough. That's more than enough. That's a dope tour. That's gonna be a dope tour.
Man, it's crazy because that song alone is one of them joints that, like, you go to we talk about iconic ass beats, man.
Yeah.
That symphony sample, man, that starts on the beginning of that. Dog, you can't mention that song title without instantly at the back imprint of your brain that beat takes it over.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's just like, and then like I said, Mike Jones, back then they didn't know me. That joint takes
over on loop. I mean, he had the game in the chokehold, and he came. You talk about starting, from the bottom, coming on up or whatever. He was like, dude, I'm gonna make it. Come on, the hook or crook. I'm gonna make this shit happen, and he made it pop. But that's the hustle, and all of those cats.
And the crazy part about Slim Thug, Slim Thug was so influential. Lupe had to drop a joint telling his life story.
Yeah, and let's not forget, he linked up with Pharrell, and it was a different kind of that blend alone is tell you how dope dude is, man. Damn.
And look, dog, I'm bopping off of all of it. They done fucked up my work playlist, man. Because that would be off for it. Because cats don't realize how much Thug is actually rips.
Yeah,
how much Thug actually rhymes, like without a doubt. Like homeboy is nasty. And
so they sleep on these southern rappers, man, like Bun B, and these cats have shit to say. I mean, they actually are part of that hip hop family as far as true life spitters, and they get busy. What was that, Paul Wallaby on that Toby joint? Come on, man, I was like, whoo. And this was him coming a resurgence. He was just coming back again. I was like, God, what the shit?
Drive
Paul?
slow, homie.
Come on, man.
Let's put it this way. Here's how crazy Houston was. Houston messed around and put a chink in Atlanta's armor when Atlanta was bulletproof.
That part.
Houston slid through. Houston slid through. And when everybody was like, Atlanta. And if it ain't Atlanta, it's Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? It's like Atlanta, Jay-Z, Atlanta. And also Houston's like, wait, hold on, dog.
Yeah, they reached up, grabbed that mic and pulled it right down and was like, look here, let's get busy. And they did. They took it and they ran. I mean, the whole squad, Chamillionaire, Mike Jones, Slim Thug, Paul Wallaby, Paul Wall, y'all. And yeah, man, and they ran. Now, you got the Toby, shit.
UGK would pop in here and there on
UGK Bun would be featured on other cats shit.
He'd be like, I'm here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Zero.
What's his cousin?
Man?
Shit.
Trey the Truth.
Sorry, damn. Love that dude.
Dog. I mean,
Face, Devin. Come on, man. Damn.
Dog. And then let's talk about the cat defined everything about their era. Fucking DJ Screw, man.
Put it all together. Put it all together. That was it, man. And the thing about it, man, when I first heard that shit, my man brought it to me. He was in Dallas. Went to school at A&M or whatever, and he bring that shit home. And I was like, what's wrong with the tape? He was like, nah, man, you don't understand. It's a chop and screw hour, man. You gotta, like you said, you got to see the cars, you got to see the club scene. And he was like, and they were chopping up all these songs, whatever, and screwing them. I'm sorry, not chopping, screwing them up. And I was just like, what the fuck is that? That shit sound demonic, man. What the fuck is that? Like, dude, it's a vibe. And my ignorant ears at the time was not on it. And sure as
Well,
shit.
you ain't had no promethazine, brother.
You're right.
You didn't have the right combination.
Because if you was on the syrup, you would understand. Like, dude, it makes sense now. And I was like, we wasn't on perp back then. You know, we were still ED 2020. You know, that's what we was on,
man.
and it didn't slow me down that much to make that shit make sense. You know, but yeah, that was the first time I heard it. I was like, man, turn that shit off, man. That shit sound like your tape broke. You know, but okay. You know, and they just kept, you know, getting chopped up and screwed up and chopped up and screwed. I was like, what the fuck is this? I was like, let the song play. And, you know, doom, 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 doom. And I was like, what? Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is this? Let the song play, man. What is he doing? But that's a screw tape.
But this is the case of, like I said, certain stuff is clubs, certain stuff is the block, and certain parts of this is the parking lot pimping that makes it make sense. And that was one of the ones. And certain things you have to visit that area to understand it. And having family down there, getting down there and watching, I call them the parades, but watching the cruises, watching the rollouts. And seeing the rollouts and seeing cats up there, everybody bumping the screw tape, and they just bending corners on.
They swinging. They ain't bending. They swinging
on them.
Yeah,
they swinging, and it's like, oh, I get it.
I got it now. Yeah, again,
I never indulged in the purple. You know, that wasn't never my thing, so I didn't understand it from that aspect of it.
Right.
But the aspect of the whole vibe and that syrupy feel, and even going back to last show, that syrupy feel of that's Dungeon Family right there.
That's because our ears are conditioned to, you know, we had selection. So when we hear that, it's like, ooh, you taking me back, because that's what I instantly went back to. But this, I feel sorry for the kids now because they don't have, you know, the era of screw. They don't have the era of.
They don't have cars, man. They don't have cars. This is
you can't. Yeah, they in their Ubers. You know what I'm saying?
Like you pass the aux cord, but it's a difference when you only in your car for the 20 minutes that it takes to get, 15 minutes it takes to get somewhere. There's a whole thing of when you get in that ride, and when you get in that ride is from how can we say it, from Philly over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All the way to the West Coast. There's a different way you ride and you roll when stuff is spaced out. And when you in your car for a minute, it was a benefit we had with the fact of not coming from a particularly big city. So we've taken that hour-long drive, that 45-minute drive, going to Cleveland, going to Akron, you know what I'm saying, going to Pittsburgh, going 3 hours to head to Columbus to go get in on something. And while you riding, you're vibing this stuff a little bit differently. That's what happens. You know what I'm saying? You go down to Atlanta and it's like, all right, we kick it in Bankhead, we kick it in Buckhead. You know what I'm saying? There's some time frame in between there. We just gonna be in the city, and depending on where you at, there's some time frame in there. You vibe this stuff different. You listen to stuff different.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You might get an album off.
You got your man. You got your A&R skills up on that, because now you're critiquing everything. Because you in, like you said, you in the car. You hearing the highs, the lows, the mids. You hearing everything. You know where it sits. You know,
it's not a pair of earbuds. It's not a set of headphones. You got that kicker box in the trunk.
That part.
You stopped at a stoplight. The person next to you was up there like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Wait, nobody said yeah to me when I stopped. I'm throwing the CD out the window, man.
Right.
I stopped at 8 stoplights and ain't nobody bobbed their head.
Nobody went like, who is that? Who is that? You know? Yeah. None of that's happening anymore, you know, because that's what it was. It was like free promotion. Like, damn, do you hear that? I don't know how many times me and you've been rolling up. Was like, dog, who is that? And you're like, oh, that's so-and-so, because you could tell by the bass line. You know, we could hear the license plate, you know, hit a certain way. And you're like, oh, I know who that is. Remind me when we get home. I got it. Just remind me when we get home. I know who it is. I got it.
You could be sitting in the crib and somebody is half a block away and you knew what they was banging.
Yeah, shake the whole fucking house. You know,
Come
but
on. Cash used to have arguments off the first two Pac albums based off that, man.
yep. Basically. But yeah, man, I mean, oh my God, this tour is gonna be amazing, man. Back to the
Yeah.
the main subject. These guys, they're tried and tested and proven themselves. And I'm glad they get to do a victory lap. To me,
Really,
that's what
man.
it's a victory lap. These cats, they've been in the game, they're well established, well respected on individually, on
And
their
all
own.
of them got it for all of them hustled and pulled their careers out the mud, man.
That
Mike
part.
Jones had an 800 number to tell you to get his album for real. Cass was promoting.
Yeah,
That's the
man.
thing to
Yeah.
dive in there is the difference in how some of these down south cats promoted as compared to the label heavy cats out of New York and everywhere else, man. The
Mhm.
way these cats promoted their stuff, like Short Dog out west selling out the trunk, and
40.
E40 and
Yeah.
them cats coming out the trunk with their action, and then them down south cats with all types of new marketing schemes and running a region in a certain way. It changed up the way you got to your music.
Yeah.
They was flipping stuff like how New York was flipping the box back in the day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They was doing that well in the label era. You know what I'm saying? That's
how
crazy action, man.
it was
These
all
cats is-
in-house, and there was like, dude, we never intended on touring outside of our state.
and that's crazy to say.
And still going gold and platinum. That's what P said. He's like, we didn't have to leave New Orleans if we did, or Louisiana if we didn't want to. We decided, to branch off or whatever, but we didn't have to leave the South, basically. And was like, we were good in our section, but it got too big.
Yeah.
Let's just share with everybody else and go back to that whole thing about it. You have to experience it to actually appreciate it. Because when I go back to the first time I heard about it, again in the car, my partner brought it up. Like, man, we banging this down south, we banging this in Texas. And I was like, who is this? It's like this dude named Master P from New Orleans. And I was like, New Orleans got rappers? Back then. It was just like, word, because we were strictly on the coast.
Right.
And it's like, oh, okay, then that I was like, man, turn that shit off. That shit hurt my ears. I
Yeah.
was like, dude, this shit is fucking annoying. And why is he moaning? What the fuck is that? I'm like, what is wrong with this dude? Is he shitting? What's going on? And I went to the club, Pittsburgh. I think we were at Donzi's.
Man,
That shit came on, bounce, 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 bounce. Everybody knew the song. The club went bananas, and the rest is history.
I'm gonna tell you what fucked me up. We was at the Lager up on the third floor, and that's a big club. That's a major warehouse style club. This ain't they got a major club on each floor of that joint, and that floor felt like it was going to give way.
Yep.
And
Yep.
this, like I said, this got structural beams in it, and that floor still felt like it was about to go.
That plywood
And
is
how you do that there? I was like, oh, dog.
I felt like I was late to the party. I'm looking around, the girls, they know every word. The dudes in there, everybody's going nuts, and it was the vibe. And I was like, and it hit me like, this is what he was talking about. Huh.
Yeah. So
okay,
this
it.
tour is going to be on point. I can't wait to see the footage, man, and I can't wait to see what's popping off, man. This is going to be on point. Shout out to them brothers, and that's much respect, man.
Indeed, man. Indeed.
Hey, thank y'all to the subscribers. Thank y'all to the viewers.
Yeah.
Keep liking, keep sharing, keep subscribing. Tell other people to subscribe. Keep commenting.
Yes, please.
Hey, peace to everybody. We gonna get up out of here. Love y'all. Roll that beautiful bean footage, man.
Peace.
Peace.